Welcome to episode 38 of the Twig Snapper Podcast. Today I'm joined by Brooke Becker. How's it going today, Brooke?
Good. How are you?
I'm pretty good. Just trying to make it through the last couple weeks of classes. I see Christmas break ahead, and
Yep.
I can't
Yep.
wait.
Yeah. Oh, I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you.
So, why don't we start in the beginning? When did you start playing hockey?
I want to say I was probably like 2 or 3 when I first got in my first pair of ice skates. My dad had played, and all of his brothers played, um, and so probably 2 or 3 I started skating, and then by 4 I was playing like house or travel or I don't even know. Um, but I started playing hockey very, very early. So
Yeah, right. 2 or 3. Most people are just learning to walk, and your parents throw you on skates.
yeah, yeah.
So, you grew up in a hockey family?
I did, yeah. My dad played. He actually played at Providence College, where I go.
Okay.
Um, so it was kind of cool having that connection. And then his brothers all played, and it's just been a family thing. And now I have cousins who play because I play. So it's kind of cool. It's becoming like a traditional thing in my family.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty neat. So you were the player of the year for 3 seasons in high school, and you guys won a state championship in New York. Let's just talk about that for a little bit, if you want to touch on that.
Yeah, playing high school hockey was a lot of fun. It, you know, it allowed me to play with really a diverse group of girls and girls of all different backgrounds and different abilities. So that was really fun and just a nice like breakup too from like traditional hardcore competitive travel hockey. So it was a lot of fun and like being able to be a really good team on top of it made it that much better. We won a lot of
Right.
um, we played. I mean, we played some competitive teams too, which was awesome. And the hockey in Buffalo, I think, was pretty good as far as like Section 6 was that we played in. And then we were able to win a state championship, which was all the more better. So
Right.
it
Yeah. I
was,
mean, that's the end goal in high
yeah,
school hockey.
yeah. So and it was just a lot of fun. Like every time we would have games and whatnot, it was just more fun than anything. And that sometimes is better than just you know uh, traditional
Right.
hardcore work. So
Yeah. I mean, that's what it's all about in the end. If you're having a good time, if you're not having a good time, what's the point of doing it?
right, right, absolutely.
So you also played for the Stony Creek Sabres in the PWHL before you went to Providence. Let's just talk about that for a little bit. That's pretty much juniors, right? The girls juniors, the PWHL.
Yeah, so I played in Canada my senior year of high school for Stony, and I loved every second of it. I can't rave enough about how much I loved being in Canada and playing with that team. Like, I still talk to those girls all the time. I still talk to a lot of my teammates, and I visited them as hard as it was because I hadn't seen them in a couple of years because of COVID. I got to visit them not too long ago, and I visit them every summer and just kind of like keep in touch. I really do. Just I can't express enough like how much I loved it. It not only like set me up for coming here because it was more like college. Like we when we went on tournaments and stuff, we took a bus and we stayed with our team, and you weren't supposed to see your parents as much, and like that was really like college to me. And then on top of it, like my coaching staff was awesome. I still talk to them. Um, yeah, I mean, I just can't rave about it enough. The people I met and the experiences I had, and it was very high level hockey. I mean, I have 4 or 5, maybe even 6 girls on my team now who played in the PWHL. So, and that I've played against or played with. So, it was just like an
Yeah,
awesome league, really competitive, and I just love the experience being up there.
right. And it sets you up good for college if it's
Mhm.
high level play, and like you said, the traveling, not seeing your parents as much. It's all good practice before you hit the college level.
Yeah.
So I was going to ask you why Providence, and I think I've got a better idea now that I know your dad played there. That had to
Yeah.
have factored into it a little bit. Um,
Yes. Yeah, for sure. I mean, obviously, like I said, my dad went there, so it's always been in the back of my mind as a school, as an option. So I think just having his influence kind of pushed me to come check it out. And then when I got on campus and I got here, I loved it. So I don't know. They say like right away when you find like what you're looking for, and I just found it really early. I was fortunate enough to like know, and
Yeah.
and I mean obviously it was thanks to him that like I got here and I knew about the school, but um I did look at other schools. I just liked this one a lot, so
Yeah.
it worked out.
And
And
it's a good program,
yeah,
historically, and
yeah,
great barn, like a really, really
yeah,
nice barn to play.
yeah,
Not every college can say they've got a facility like you guys have,
yeah,
which really
absolutely,
is a drawing point.
absolutely.
Um,
Probably
so
one of the
once
best
you,
in hockey East. Not gonna lie. So
yeah, yeah,
well
definitely.
don't.
Um, well, and basketball school too. Basketball and hockey,
Yeah.
definitely up there. So
Yep.
got a lot going there. Um, let's talk about your first college goal. I mean, everybody, remembers that moment when they score it. So take us through that moment, how it happened, and then the emotion you had after.
um. So it was my freshman year was my first college goal, and it was actually our first game of the year. It was my first collegiate game. So very intimidating. I was um very unprepared to be like in that position, scoring a goal, like whatever. Um my parents were there. No, my parents weren't there. Sorry. It was COVID year. So no
Okay.
fans, no nothing. And we were supposed to be playing Merrimack that day. Like when I say it was very crazy, it was like we were supposed to be playing Merrimack, but they all had COVID. So then we ended up playing UConn. And regardless, we were we were in the O zone, lining up for a face off, and we were running a play we call Carolina, and the D switch, and they're on their offhand. So they won the puck back to me, and I just like literally threw it at the net, and it went in, and I was like stunned. It was like I think the first period of the game, the first game of the year, like my first collegiate goal. I was like, and it was the first goal of the game. I mean, I was like in shock. I didn't even know what to do. I think I threw my hands up and I was like, oh my God. But it was like really surreal. Like I I couldn't even tell you what happened. I was like so
Yeah.
in shock. So
Well, you checked 100 boxes in one. Like you said, the first period, the first game, the first goal, all this stuff.
yeah, I was like, oh, okay, that just happened. Yeah,
Right. Well, that's really awesome.
yeah.
Um, Another exciting game. I was reading your bio, and it said in 2020-21 you had a 3-point game versus BU in the Hockey East quarterfinals. You had 1 goal and 2 assists. That's got to be another game that just stands out in your memory because you had
Yeah.
so much success in it.
Yeah. That was actually probably one of my favorite games ever. For right now.
Like
I mean,
throughout your whole career, high school, PWHL,
um,
everything.
um, no, I would just say college for now.
Okay. Okay.
There's probably other games too that
Yeah.
I loved, and I love different games for different reasons. So, but this game was just like chaos. We had like maybe I want to say 8 or 9 girls out for quarantine. So we had 13 players on the bench that game. Yeah, if you can imagine, we had 13 players on
Yeah.
the bench
Well, I mean,
for a
I
Hockey
picture
East
like
quarterfinal game.
high school teams that have low enrollment or something, not Division 1, have to play with 13 people
Right.
on the bench.
So we had 13 girls, and I just remember like it was an all out battle royale for us to just be like, even like going and going and going. We had started the first period with, I believe we played 3D, and then, and then we moved up to playing 4D, and we had 6 forwards. So it was just like very crazy, very hectic, but like we made it work.
Yeah.
And I think because we had such a short bench, everyone knew they had to like really step it up. And thankfully we had some like power play opportunities and whatnot, and that just like contributed to it. And yeah, we like I was fortunate enough to work really well with Caroline Peterson, who's our captain now, and she tipped like 2 of the shots for 2 of the goals, and then I think I don't even remember what the goal was, to be quite honest, but I just remember we were like grinding out there, and by the 3rd period we were like gassed, like the whole team. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure they came back. I'm pretty sure we were up like 3-1 in that game, and like they came back and like scored or something. Like it ended up being tighter than it needed to be, but it was because we were just gassed by the end of the game. But
Then you guys won that game?
yeah, we did.
Okay, yeah. So you guys were really tuckered out. You were just gassed, but it was worth it because you won.
Yeah,
You guys,
absolutely. Yeah.
right. That had to have been exciting to win, with the short bench. Like, it just kind of proves, too, what your team is made out of. Like,
Yeah.
what you guys, the fact that you work hard all season, and then it's like, oh, crap, we've got a short bench. This is our chance.
Yeah.
But then you went out and you performed, and it just makes it all that much better.
Yeah, and it really was. I mean, we really just kind of had to like, we had to do it. Like we just like had no other choice. Yeah. So we had to do the nitty gritty, and we got it done. So
yeah, that's what counts.
Yeah.
All right, so let's talk about this season. You guys are having a pretty good year so far. You're 13-4-1. You're 9-3-1 in your conference. You have a 4-game win streak going. What do you think? What are you guys meeting expectations? Are you exceeding expectations? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, we have a really solid roster this year. And that is something that, is really, really helpful. But we also just have girls that really want to work and really want to play. We have a big bench this year, so everyone who's playing has to work for their spot, has to do it, has to be involved and whatnot. So it's just really competitive. We are meeting expectations, and at certain times, in certain areas, we're exceeding them. But we just kind of have to keep going. I think once you get satisfied with where we're at, that's when you just kind of like stay where you're at. And we want to be a team that gets bigger and better places than just like 9th where we are right now. And we'd like to be up in the top 5. We'd like to be top 3. Like, we'd like to be that team. And I think we have the ability to be that team as long as we continue to work hard for those spots and work hard on the ice, off the ice. Just kind of, like you said, like meeting our expectations day in, day out, and then going above and beyond to exceed what our coaches are looking for, what our fans are looking for, what whoever is looking for. But yeah, I think we definitely have the team to do it. We just need to like stay on that path and like not ride a wave. We just need to like kind of gradually go like this and not go like this.
Right.
And I definitely think we can do that. But I'm excited because like these next 2 weekends, we have Merrimack this weekend, and it's an opportunity to get 2 good wins, and then we have Quinnipiac, which is a big like matchup for us. So that will be an exciting weekend for us to play.
They're highly ranked too, aren't they?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're like 5, maybe even.
Yeah,
like 4.
I mean it shuffles every week, so I can never remember exactly where people are. I just know that they're up there somewhere.
Yeah. So regardless, that'll be a big matchup for us, and I'm excited for that because that'll really like put a test, especially right before break, and like, you know how you are right now, like you're ready to go home. Like, this is going to be a really good test to see like how our team handles like end of the season, like not that it's the end of the season, but like end of the season, playoffs, grind. So
right. It's a good first test for for that kind of end of the season feeling because we're coming
Yeah,
into break. So it's a good test for that.
absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah, but like you said, you don't want to just be like satisfied with where you're at. You want to be hungry for more, and you want to keep, you want to have that competitive still like, oh, we're doing great, so let's just,
Right. Right.
you don't want to, roll a flat
Nope.
and
Nope.
you just got to keep chugging. And
Yeah.
so do you have any personal goals for yourself going through the rest of the season?
I really just kind of want to stick to my game and stay consistent in like preventing goals and also like being there as an opportunity to, make plays happen to, achieve goals. Um, but really I just want to like have that consistency, and I hope that like our entire team will keep that consistency in the way we're
Yeah.
playing. Because I think that's one of the most important things especially as you get to the end of the season and like in these hard games, is like playing consistent every shift, and every game, because the better consistent you play, the better off we'll be in the long run.
Right, and if the whole team plays consistent as like a cohesive unit, then you're set.
Yeah,
You need everyone to stay consistent.
absolutely.
So we already mentioned that you guys have an awesome bar and just one of the best in college hockey. What are the fans like? Do you guys get rip roaring student sections?
The men's games do. Actually, the men's games are a ton of fun because they pretty much sell every game. And the student section's always like popping off, and the men's games too. Um, we get like our friends and family there, some students here and there, a lot of professors and some friars that come. But we don't normally get like a huge fan base for games. Like, we're not Wisconsin, so we don't necessarily get like those kind of fans. But we appreciate any fans that come.
Yeah.
And it's
We
almost
got to change that.
well,
People don't know what they're missing.
right. I think the other issue too is like we have a lot of teams on campus, and some people are playing at different times. So like if basketball's playing while we're playing, like
Yeah.
we're not gonna get the basketball fans to come to our game.
Right.
But
I feel like it's the same thing here at Michigan Tech, and our basketball teams are all D2, so it's a little bit different because hockey's D1.
yeah,
But if hockey takes precedence over basketball and the other sports,
yeah.
football and a lot of that stuff. So
I think that's what's different too, at least on our campuses. Like basketball takes precedence over hockey always. But it is tougher too because not everybody follows girls hockey, and I wish they did. Um, but yeah, I would love to have more fans come out. We need to find a way to incentivize.
right.
Yeah.
Well, if you guys keep having success, people are gonna have to come because
That's what
you're
we're
gonna,
hoping. We're hoping. Yeah,
right?
We're hoping that like the better we do, the more people see us.
Exactly, and consistent success. People will be like, "Well, they're really good. Like, I want to go see this. I want to
Yeah.
go check this out." And just in a grand, like in the hockey world, women's hockey is growing. So as it grows in a broad sense, hopefully you start to see that more.
Yeah.
People like, what was it? When Canada and the U.S. women's teams just played, they had the biggest attendance, or they sold out.
Yeah.
Or I mean, like that's insane. That's what we need more of.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what we're looking for in the long run. But I do think it takes time.
It does, yeah.
And I think it's something you can't like get frustrated about if it's not there
Right.
right away. I think it takes time, and it takes change, and it takes people seeing the game. So
Like you used Wisconsin as an example, like they've worked themselves up to that.
right. They won
status.
many national titles. Like they're deserving of those fans and the fan base that they have. And I think the more we work towards that goal,
Yeah.
which of course everybody's goal,
Right.
The harder we work and the more we achieve that, the more fans will come. But
Yeah.
it does take time, and it takes us working towards that to get there.
Right. So you said you've been to some of the men's hockey games and they get really fun. Have you been to any of the basketball games?
I haven't this year. I have previously, like last year, and they're super fun. Unfortunately, the issue that our team has is that a lot of times, like I said, we'll either be playing at the same time or we'll have a game right before their game, but then by the time we could get to their game, we can't even sit or fit in the student section. So like we're kind of on the outskirts.
Yeah.
So it's kind of tough. But like last night they had a game and I was in our student center and I was watching it there. So like we still watch and we still support a lot of the other athletes on campus and just
Right.
watch and go to games and whatnot. But it's been tough. It's tough because like same season, plus they
Yep.
travel a lot, plus we travel a lot. Like that becomes a little tough to like actually go to the game and like have fun and like be able to go out after and do stuff like that. So
Right.
I would like to do that at one point this year, but we'll just have to wait and see what our schedule looks like. So.
Right. All right, we'll go with one more hockey question and then a couple non-hockey questions before we wrap it up. Did you have a hockey player, NHL, pro women, somebody other than your dad that you looked up to growing up? Because I'm sure you looked up to your dad, him playing at Providence.
Yeah.
So other than that, because that's the easy answer.
Right.
Make you work for this one.
I've always been, and this is a little odd, but I've always, and maybe controversial, but I've always been a fan of Pat Kane. He grew up in Buffalo, where I'm from, and I think he's one of the most skilled players still to this day in the NHL.
Mm-hmm.
But kind of, I want to say like early high school, I became a really big fan of Cale Makar and his abilities on the point. I mean, I'm a D, so like watching him play defense and just be able to like, I don't even know how he does half the stuff he does, but he does it. I kind of, super fanned over him. And I actually got to see him play when maybe 18, 19, when they were in Buffalo for the Frozen Four. And he won the Hobie Baker. Did I say that right? Yeah, Hobie Baker. Yeah. I didn't think about that. I was like, oh my God. When he won the Hobie Baker. So that was really cool. And then ever since then, he's been in the NHL and like he kills it. So
yeah, he's just lighting it up.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't know. I like, as far as like NHL, when I was younger, I mean, I always followed the Sabres and anybody from Buffalo. That's like kind of a Buffalo thing. Like we're really passionate about our sports and our teams. So
Tage Thompson
is so good.
He is. He's unreal.
It. Yeah. And it's funny because his brother Tice was here my freshman year. So I know his brother. And his brother, I think, is playing for Utica Comets because he's.
I can't remember where he's at now, but somewhere in the A, I think.
Yeah, I think he's Utica because that's New Jersey's farm team, the AHL team.
Yeah.
So I think he's in Utica. But yeah, it's just funny. Like he is killing it. Like the moves he's making, I mean, I don't even. And he's huge. He's huge. He's like probably 6'9", 6'10" on ice skates. So
a massive guy too.
Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. But I think I might go when I go home. I might catch a game or two. Although I'm not sure how expensive tickets are going to be. So.
Right. When there's players to go watch, there's like exciting players to go watch. They jack up the tickets a little more because there's something to go see now.
Yeah, I know.
Him and Jeff Skinner,
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean, they have a lot of players that have been like doing well for them. So, and have previously not been doing well. So it's good to see like making progress, and a lot of their young guys are even producing too. So it's just really, I mean, awesome to see. And it's awesome for our city too, because we're just so like, we're such passionate sports fans. I mean, we have the Bills doing well too. They have been doing well. I mean, they're doing okay right now. I'm not really sure how people feel about it. I always think they're doing well, but
well, I mean, they're doing fairly well. They are pretty good. Maybe they're not as good as some people think they could be.
Right.
I feel like some people think Josh Allen throws too many interceptions, but
fair enough. He has
but he's also he's a gunslinger. He likes to throw the football, and that's going to happen. it's just that's just part of it.
Right.
It
Right.
goes with it. When you're gonna throw for a crap ton of yardage and TDs, you're gonna throw some picks, and people just
Yeah.
gotta live with that.
Right. Right.
But
Yeah, but we're a big sports community, so any sports, like, Buffalo people are on it, so
right, because the Bills Mafia, the Bills fans are insane.
yeah. I know. My friends and I were actually just chatting about a Bills game when we're all home, and the cheapest tickets are like $130 at like the top of the 300
I
level.
mean the nosebleeds.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, those are a little expensive for me.
Right. Man, I wish they would have played that game. I know the snow was like a tremendous amount of snow, but it would have been fun to watch. I love snow games.
Yeah,
So it
it
was
would have
just
been.
too much.
Yeah, I think it was just so I actually live like 10 minutes from the stadium
Oh
where
wow.
because I live in Orchard Park where the stadium is, and my mom said we got like 88 inches of snow. Like it was like not drivable, not livable. Like you
No,
would not have
no.
to do it, but
Yeah, because at first I saw the game was gonna get moved, and I was like, "Come on, it's just a snow game." But then
no,
once the
yeah,
storm hit, and you
yeah,
just
it was
got
bad.
absolutely dumped on
Yeah,
with snow.
yeah. So my parents were like in the house for like 4 days, 5 days. So
Yeah.
it's bad. They couldn't even clear it.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah. So when you're not playing hockey or rooting for Buffalo sports teams, what are your hobbies?
ooh, um, this is probably more related to hockey, but I really enjoy coaching. I have a
Okay.
younger
Yeah.
cousin who plays, and I really like just like going out with them and being able to like pass the game along. Um, I love hanging out with friends. I miss my friends all the time because they all go to school somewhat close to each other, or go to school close to home, and um, I don't. So, just like hanging out with them. I'm a big family oriented person, so being with my family is always awesome too. And my aunts came to visit not too long ago, and that was like really fun, just being able to like hang out with them and see them again. So,
Yeah. So coaching, is that something that you'd want to get into after your playing career ever, or has that crossed your mind?
it has crossed my mind. Um, I'm not entirely sure what I could do with it, or if I want to get into that, or where I'm going to go with that. Yeah, I'm really not entirely sure what I'm going to do with my life in general yet.
Well, yeah. I
But
feel
I
like
know
in college, nobody's got the
right,
answers.
right.
None of us know, right?
No, no. But I just know that I do enjoy it. I just don't know if it's something that I'm going to like want to do down the road. It's a lot of time and commitment, and
Right.
you know,
Or just you like coach your kids team someday for fun on
yeah,
the side,
for
Pee-wees
fun.
or something.
Right. And I fully intend on doing something like that, but
Yeah.
I think like I give college coaches a lot of credit. Um, it's a lot of time away from family and friends and just a lot of time spent at the rink and recruiting, and there's a lot to do, and like I was talking to one of my assistant coaches, and she was like, all my friends are getting married right now, and like I can't take the weekend off to go, to their weddings because
Yeah.
I'm here and we play every weekend. And it like put me into perspective. Like that is something I totally didn't think about. Like as much as I'm missing out, they miss out too. So it's a lot of time commitment. So I'm not sure that like I would be okay with missing more after already doing it.
Right. When you're a player, you miss so much.
Right.
You don't know if you want to keep doing it.
Keep doing
Makes
it.
sense.
So we'll see.
Yeah. All right, two more questions to wrap it up. What's your
Okay.
favorite kind of music? What kind of
Mm.
music do you like? Or maybe you have like your pump up music and then you're like
Oh yeah, I
relaxing
definitely have
music.
different mood music. Um, I am a big fan of The Weeknd.
Okay.
Um, always have been. My brother loves him too. We went to his concert um here not too long ago, and like got front row tickets. Like we balled out for it. We're big fans. I'm also a huge, going completely opposite direction, huge country music fan. Love country music. I I went to like a Morgan Wallen concert this summer. My teammates and I went to Jason Aldean not too long ago. Big country music girl. And then a totally another direction. I'm super diverse in my music. I love like 70s, like yacht rock, 80s, like
Oh, really?
yeah.
Wow.
So, and that was definitely dad influenced, but
Yeah, I'm sure.
I really started to get into it, and now it's just like nice, relaxing, chill music that I can listen to. So
It's good
I'm
to
all over
be
the board.
diverse. It is.
Yeah,
It's good to be all over the board.
yeah,
I'm all over the board too. I go in like cycles where I'm just like really into one and then I cycle the
yep,
next thing and like
yep.
yeah. And then
So
I hate it. My parents would listen to like Sirius XM in the car and they put on the yacht rock channel when I was younger. And I hated it when I was younger.
I know, and now
But
you're like, oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah, a lot of this
decent.
stuff is it's good, you know, you can
Yeah,
just relax to it
yeah,
and you need some like calm, relaxing music after
absolutely.
a stressful day or
Yeah.
whatever.
So I definitely enjoyed that. Oh, sorry, my brother is texting me. My brother's wanting to plan another trip he's wanting to go to Europe to plan another,
Oh,
because the weekend just announced that his concert's going to Europe, funny enough.
well, that'd
So
be
he's like,
fun.
yeah, except
Have you ever
to
been to
go to
Europe?
Europe, yeah, I have, but to go to Europe is not like, right around the corner. So
Right, right. No,
it's
no.
pricey.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
it's expensive, the
yeah,
whole thing. But,
he
it
does
would
not.
be fun.
It would be fun, but I don't think he understands quite how expensive it is. But
Yeah, yeah. Well, maybe if he looks at plane tickets,
he'll be like, "Ooh." Yeah.
All right, so in your bio is kind of a hot take here. Your favorite movie is The Lion King.
Yes. I I'm a I'm a big Disney movie fan. The Lion King was definitely one of my favorites growing up. So I kind of just like stuck with it. I used to have like a big teddy stuffed animal of Simba. Um so and I loved it. But any Disney movies I love. Um I'm a big like Marvel movie fan.
Okay,
Uh,
yeah.
I'm pretty diverse in my movies too, probably. Like I
That's
can
what,
go
I
from
just,
uh,
having The Lion King as your favorite movie, that's,
yeah,
like I love Disney movies too. I love Disney music once in a while. It just,
yeah,
makes you feel like a kid again.
yeah,
But I don't know if I'd say any of them would be like my favorite movie.
yeah.
Like that.
Um, I honestly like when they asked for it, I think I was just like I was probably I was probably like reminiscing on like childhood moments at the time because I was
Yeah.
probably like going right into college and like going from because my final high school year was like COVID. So
Hmm.
I think I was like kind of like reminiscing all of the like childhood moments I had. And I think I was just like looking at that movie or probably watching it and was like, it's one of my favorites. Like it really is. But I don't know. I'm a big Disney movie fan and I really couldn't think of anything else. I mean, obviously, like
Yeah.
Miracle is like one of my all time favorites, but how cliche is it to write Miracle on your
I
bio?
mean, it's cliche, but it's just such a
It's
great
such a good movie.
movie. I love watching that. Kurt Russell, and he
Yeah,
just when he says those Herb Brooks lines,
yeah. Oh my
I
God,
love
it's
it.
like it blows everyone out of the water.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, The Lion King was just like a nice like inspirational movie too, I guess, of like battling your problems or something. So
Right.
I don't know. I don't even know why I
Yeah.
love it. But I just like
Well,
the thrill of the childhood memories, I guess, sometimes.
it's got some good tunes in it though too. I just can't
Absolutely.
wait to be king and Hakuna
Yeah.
Matata. I mean,
Yeah. Absolutely.
got
Absolutely.
some good stuff for sure. All right, that's all I got. So thank you for joining me on this episode of the podcast. Good luck with the rest of your season.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem.